They call you lazy when you stop responding, when you don't get out of bed, when you cancel plans without explanation, when your to-do list sits untouched and your body refuses to move. They say you're unmotivated, undisciplined, wasting potential, falling behind. But what they can't see, what they'll never feel, is the weight you carry inside. Because this isn't about being lazy. This is about being exhausted in a way that no nap, no coffee, no productivity hack can fix. This is soul-deep fatigue. You weren't born like this. There was a time you moved freely, when ideas flowed, when excitement lived in your chest, and you reached for the future with both hands. But over time, that fire faded. Not because you lost ambition, but because the world kept asking for more than you had to give. You were told to always be doing, to hustle, to produce, to outperform the next person, to wear burnout like a badge of honor. And every time you slowed down, guilt whispered in your ear, "You're falling behind. Everyone else is doing more. You'll never make it if you stop now." So you pushed. You smiled when you wanted to scream. You showed up when your spirit was fractured. You held others together while your own heart was coming undone. And now? Now your body is tired, but your soul is numb. What if the problem isn't that you're lazy, but that you've never had a safe place to rest? Not just physical rest, but spiritual rest, emotional rest, rest from the pressure to perform. Rest from pretending to be okay. What if the quiet moments where you do nothing are not evidence of weakness, but evidence that you've been strong for too long? You are not broken. You are drained. Society glorifies output. It worships hustle. It celebrates the sleepless achiever while shaming the quiet ones who move slowly, with care. But the soul doesn't speak in deadlines. It speaks in silence, in stillness, in the aching need to sit with yourself and ask, what part of me have I been ignoring? Laziness is often not a lack of discipline. It's a signal, a cry from within that something is misaligned. You are not lazy for not wanting to keep running in circles that lead nowhere. You are not lazy for no longer wanting to chase things that never filled you. You are not lazy for being tired of acting like you're fine. There is a reason your body resists. There is a reason you stare at the ceiling and feel empty. There is a reason you're not motivated to do what once felt urgent. You've been in survival mode, living to meet expectations instead of meaning, fighting to maintain an identity that no longer feels like home. And now your soul wants truth. Not performance, not productivity, but honesty, stillness. A life that actually reflects who you are, not who the world told you to be. It takes strength to stop. It takes courage to rest without guilt. It takes wisdom to understand that the path forward is not always about speed. Sometimes it's about returning to yourself, reconnecting with the parts you left behind, remembering what it means to feel alive again, not through achievement, but through presence. You were not made to run endlessly like a machine. You are not a cog in someone else's agenda. You are a human being with a rhythm, a pulse, a limit. So if you're in bed today, staring at the wall and feeling like a failure, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, not, why am I so lazy? But rather, what part of me is tired of pretending? What truth have I buried beneath all this noise? You may not have answers yet, and that's okay, because the first step out of soul exhaustion is giving yourself permission to feel it, to stop labeling it, to stop shaming it, to sit in the quiet and say, I'm not lazy, I'm hurting, I'm empty, and I'm allowed to be. Rest is not the opposite of progress. Rest is what allows you to continue. Not the kind of rest that looks good on Instagram. Not a curated self-care day with candles and tea, but real rest. Rest that feels uncomfortable. Rest that feels unproductive. Rest that requires you to confront the grief, the burnout, the years of self-abandonment. That kind of rest is sacred. That kind of rest is healing. That kind of rest will save your life. You don't need to fix everything right now. You don't need to figure out your 5-year plan. You don't need to match anyone's pace. You need to listen to the part of you whispering, I want peace more than I want progress. I want meaning more than I want achievement. I want to feel alive again. That voice is not lazy. It is wise. It is real. It is you. So rest, not because you've earned it, not because you've worked hard enough, but because you are worthy, even in stillness, even in silence, even when the world doesn't understand. You are not lazy. Your soul is exhausted, and it's time to come home to yourself, to the version of you that no longer needs to prove anything, to the breath you keep forgetting to take, to the simple, quiet presence that asks for nothing but your attention. There is wisdom in stepping away, not to escape, but to remember the softness beneath all the armor, to remember how it feels to exist without explanation. Let the noise pass without chasing it. Let the world keep spinning without asking you to keep up. You are allowed to move at the pace of truth, to live without urgency, to let today be slow and still and enough. Because who you are without the pressure, that is still someone whole. That is still someone worthy of love, even in the quiet. So stay there, not forever, just long enough to find your way back to the you that doesn't need fixing, only permission to be.
If this made you pause, if you're drawn to deeper truths and quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and keep exploring with us. See you in the next one.